In this video, I'm going to be talking about what's been helpful for me in establishing a daily drawing habit, especially as someone who's got a lot of competing commitments. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that having a daily drawing habit has been fundamental to what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to eventually become a professional illustrator, and drawing every day, specifically drawing my dog, has been the means by which I'm working to get in a lot of drawing volume and also just get in practice at learning the fundamentals of illustration. We'll also be looking at a handful of drawings that show my progress from late July, early August of this year from a family trip that we took. So as far as establishing a daily drawing habit, there have really been three things that have risen to the top as the most helpful things, I think, for me, that helped me to keep a daily drawing habit going. And one was actually not focusing on trying to establish a daily drawing habit. Two was really communicating a lot with the people that I have relationship commitments with around me. And three was what I'll call having rigid flexibility. And I'll talk about each of those in turn. So the way I came to establish a daily drawing habit wasn't actually by setting out to have a daily drawing habit, but I was thinking about becoming a professional illustrator, and I am really excited about that goal. And so I think having that outcome really clear in my mind makes the how to get there part not as stressful for me because when I draw every day, I'm mostly just thinking I want to be a professional illustrator. I'm really excited about that, and so this is just a part of me getting there. And so it's been really helpful for me, I think, to not to really focus on the outcome and not focus on just the goal of drawing every day. And I've heard people really succinctly talk about it as focusing on the destination, not the journey. And I think that can be helpful, because I think when you talk about any habit or anything you're trying to, any behavior change that you're trying to do every day, I think just focusing on that thing can be really defeating, because on a given day you'll want to do that specific action to varying degrees, but the outcome I want the same every day. So that's been helpful. So not really focusing on the habit as much as focusing on the outcome. This next one I would say is pretty specific to people who have a partner or family, because if you're trying to do something that adds time to your schedule, takes away from the time you're available for other things, then and you have relationship commitments in your home or wherever you live, it's just going to mess things up if you're not communicating with those people. And so it's really just communicate a lot about what you're trying to do, what your goals are. And for my wife and I, as long as I'm communicating well, and I know and we both know the pockets of time that I'm going to be trying to give to drawing every day, it's been great. It only causes a problem when it feels like we're getting out of sync with what I've communicated, and I'm taking up more time, or I'm not as available as I should be. So communicate. It really greases the grooves for a daily drawing habit when you have those kind of relationship commitments. The last thing for me that's been particularly helpful is what I'll call having rigid flexibility. I think it's not helpful to have a habit where you're constantly negotiating with yourself what you're actually willing to do every day. So I think you have to have some level of rigid commitment, and for me that was I'm going to draw every day. But beyond that rigid commitment, I'm super flexible. So if I'm exhausted or I only have a really small amount of time, I'll just draw for like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or just, whatever. But if I have 2 hours and I have that much energy, then, or longer, I'll draw for that long. So it's been helpful to have a base level commitment of drawing every day for me, but to be really flexible within that. And I don't think that, everyone has to have the same goal. Like, I think you need to identify what your ultimate outcome is, and then what, if you want to draw every day or want to draw every 5 days or whatever works for you, but once you establish that baseline, be flexible within that so that really you have like a minimum that you're always going to do, but enough flexibility that it really works for you every day. And the drawings in this video are actually a good example of, in my own life, having to be really flexible because we went on this family trip and I, was just drawing in a different location on other people's schedule, and it doesn't work for me to just try and force in my drawing habit into everyone's vacation plans. So I changed my goals, and I was just willing to be a lot more flexible with what I was trying to draw every day, and it helped, and it meant that I got drawing done every day. So I hope some of these things were helpful to some people, and let me know in the comments if they were, or what's been helpful for you. I'd love to hear from other people what's been helpful for you. And that's it for today. If you're interested in other videos that I've done in the past or seeing where I was at earlier in the year, please click on one of the videos on the screen. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next time.